In a world where humans have defeated demons and now rule the entire world, a concern festers among the demons. They need a demon king to reclaim their power. However, there's just one small problem. The strongest among them is a human. Will they be stronger than him, or will they be defeated by the demons once more? Watch until the end to find out. The story begins with a victorious human hero who has defeated the demon lord and led humanity to a great win. While people celebrate their newfound peace, 3 months later in the demon realm, something unusual is happening. The demons are organizing a competition to decide the next demon lord. Among the competitors in this contest is a man named Helck, who stands out by easily defeating his opponents using only his bare hands. Vermilio, the organizer of the competition and one of the 4 demon leaders, watches footage of the early rounds with her assistant. They notice that the participants have a remarkably high average level of 45, setting a record for demons. Vermilio has high hopes from this competition. However, as Vermilio begins to watch the actual fights, she has a realization. She discovers that the powerful Helck is one of the contenders. Her assistant Han points out that Helck is the top choice to win. Vermilio is puzzled, wondering why a human was allowed to join. Han calmly explains that anyone could enter, but Vermilio finds it confusing why humans were even allowed, considering they are mortal enemies of the demons. Trying to calm her concerns, Han shows her an interview with Helck after his victory. In the interview, Helck strongly expresses his dislike for humans and his desire to eliminate them all. Vermilio suspects he might be lying and senses trouble ahead. She believes that Helck's true intention may be to eliminate all potential Demon Lord candidates. While Vermilio wrestles with her suspicions, she learns about the deep green contract that all participants have signed. This contract prevents any attacks on people outside the ring. Despite this assurance, Vermilio remains cautious and still doubts Helck's true motives. As Vermilio continues to watch Helck's fights, she becomes increasingly upset. Her anger reaches a boiling point when she sees Helck helping his opponent to stand and even giving compliments. Vermilio is furious and can't understand what Helck is really up to. She doubts that the demons would ever accept him as their leader. To her surprise, the crowd started cheering enthusiastically for Helck. This further enrages Vermilio, causing her to lose control. The castle around her starts to burn. She urgently confides in Han, insisting that they must remove Helck from the competition. However, Han calmly reveals that the deep green contract also protects participants from attacks on them. Furthermore, he reveals that Helck has an astonishing level of 99. Vermilio, extremely frustrated, lets out her power, causing the tower to burst. She knows Helck is very strong and likely to win the tournament, but Han has a different idea. He suggests changing the tournament format for the next round, proposing a card-stacking contest. He also plans to give Helck more glossy cards to ensure his defeat. Meanwhile, in the human world, we meet Asta, a demon spy working for Vermilio. She's on a mission to gather information about Helck. However, when she investigates the village, she makes a surprising discovery. No one is there. Back at the arena, each participant receives a desk and a deck of cards for the next round. The announcer says only the top 10 will advance. Helck struggles and Vermilio gets excited. But suddenly, Helck using his powers creates a strong wind and knocks down other stack of cards. He builds his house quickly and wins. Vermilio accuses him of breaking the rules, but Kenros disagrees. He thinks building a card house symbolizes defending one's castle while testing offense and defense skills. Others agree with Kenros, and chaos ensues as they try to destroy each other's card structures. Vermilio is angry, thinking Helck planned this to make the candidates fight each other. Meanwhile, Astra reports to her twin sister, Ista. They can communicate telepathically when they both drink coffee. Ista wonders about the tournament, and Helck keeps winning despite Vermilio's efforts to make him lose. Vermilio disguises herself as a judge, but ends up giving Helck a perfect score in a cooking round because his dessert is irresistible. Helck teases Kenros and won't show him a picture he was holding. Hera thinks they're both foolish. Kenros eventually grabs the picture, revealing Helck with his brother. Meanwhile, Ista tells Vermilio the information her sister gathered. Helck has a huge bounty on his head and is considered the worst criminal in human history for killing his own brother, who defeated the demon lord Thor. Ista also mentions that her sister visited 3 evidently recently abandoned towns. At that moment, Han rushes in saying that the castle of Urum had just fallen and its lord died protecting his citizens. He further added that the warriors are not human but white knights with wings. Vermilio shows her concern that the next target will be their throne. Vermilio is still determined to get rid of Helck. Han added a racing competition where all the participants have their best steeds, but a cute beast is given to Helck to compete. This spikes his popularity even more. The host Recap explains that the only first 4 participants will win the race. The race began, Helck left behind while all others left the arena. Here, Hyras felt that management screwed up with Helck on purpose. While others are on track trying to compete, Helck gets off his steed and tries to motivate him with encouraging words. Racers facing the obstacles and many taken up by traps. Meanwhile, Hyras tries to knock down Kenros, and the organizers think that the winner must be from them. Suddenly, Helck appears in the game with his cute steed. Vermilio ordered the suspension bridge the path away for the race, but Helck jumps all over it. At the same time, Ista came into the office with some news and approached Vermilio. She told Vermilio about the reconnaissance squadron's report, saying they had sent spies into the castle of Urum. But the spies didn't see any humans there. They also reported 103 winged knights in the castle, led by their commander. Vermilio was surprised that the knights had captured Urum despite their small numbers. The winged knights were still a mysterious puzzle, but Vermilio was sure they came from the human realm. As she thought about their next steps, Azadora, one of the other 4 demon generals, showed up. Vermilio had taken Azadora's place as manager of the tournament as he was badly injured and unable to conduct the tournament. Azadora suggested an idea, though he collapsed while explaining it. Despite his condition, he continued, suggesting that the final match of the tournament should be about retaking Castle of Urum. He said this way they could achieve 2 goals at once. Vermilio hesitated, sharing her worries about Helck's true intentions. She was afraid that Helck might turn against them during the battle. Azadora, determined to reveal Helck's real motivations, took out a deep green ring from his sleeve. He explained that this ring would stop the competitors from hurting each other. Given the uncertainty of the situation, they talked about who should go with the contestants, and they all agreed that it should be Vermilio herself because she was willing to risk her life to defeat Helck if he turned out to be a threat. 5 days later, the 4 competitors put on their deep green rings, and Rococo, the host of the tournament, explained the mission to them. She introduced them to Anna, the staff responsible for their safety. Little did they know that Anna was actually Vermilio in disguise. Vermilio gave a short speech, and Hura couldn't help but feel that she looked familiar. Helck, on the other hand, recognized her as the judge from the cooking contest and reluctantly shook her hand. In a lush field deep within the human realm, we find Vermilio. She looks around and can't help but compare this peaceful landscape to the Empire. It's revealed that the Empire is covered in an invisible poison, forcing its people to live within protected barriers for safety. Meanwhile, Vermilio, Helck, Hura, Han, Rococo, Shunova, Ista, Asta, Pui, Azadora, and Pui set off for the castle of Urum. As they travel on, Asa joins them on their quest. Hura skillfully deals with several bug-like creatures, but their path is soon blocked by even more menacing monsters. Kenros explains that these monstrous bugs are the result of the toxic environment that covers the land. Facing a charging horde, Hura bravely cuts through the monsters. At this moment, they meet Dorushi, the 4th finalist. Dorushi offers his help, saying he can handle all the monsters by himself. He reveals his unique power. By eating a magical bean, he can create a very strong barrier. As he munches on a bean, a surge of powerful energy comes from him, just as the monsters get close. Vermilion asks about the activation time of his barrier, and to her surprise, Dorushi reveals that it takes a long 30 minutes. Understanding that waiting for 30 minutes would be too long, Vermilion uses her impressive powers to burn the approaching monsters with a brilliant display of her strength. Hura's earlier suspicions are proven true. The group eventually reaches a rest area, shielded by a protective barrier. Here, Vermilion notices that Helck is not as tired as the others. She wonders if he has great stamina or is immune to the harmful effects of the area. In a separate room, Kenros and Hura discuss Anna. Hura guesses that Anna might actually be Lady Vermilio, keeping a close watch on Helck. At that moment, Vermilio overheard their conversation and insists they are mistaken. She claims to be just Anna from the management, asking them not to tell Helck. Hura can feel that she's telling the truth. Later, the group enjoys a meal prepared by Alec. Vermilio is initially annoyed, thinking that Helck is showing off. However, she reluctantly tries the food and finds it to be delicious. Back in the capital, Azadora and Han are deeply engrossed in a game. Recap updates them on the status of the competitors and informs them that the group is taking an underground route to Castle Urum to avoid an approaching storm. Han adds that the toxin is even more powerful in that underground area, leading to the increase in monsters. Ista expresses concern and suggests sending troops for backup. However, Astra explains that due to how Vermilio's powers work, additional troops would only get in her way. He also mentions the risk of weakening the capital's forces, as the knights could attack at any moment. Azadora reassures them that Vermilio is quite strong but admits to being a bit worried too. In the underground passage, Vermilio tells them not to worry about monsters that aren't right in front of them. As they sprint through the passage, the competitors are about to be surrounded again. Urum warns Vermilio about a huge monster behind her. They learn that this particular monster is a New World life form, which appears in places where the toxin is strong. New World life forms attack everything and become stronger through constant battles. Helck decides to take it on, and the others now realize he has a weapon with him, noticing that he had been fighting without one all this time. Helck jumps up and kicks the monster, sending it flying through a wall. He then draws his sword to celebrate the victory, and they see that the monster was actually quite small. It's defeated with just the kick, and Vermilio burns its remains to be safe. She wonders if a New World life form could appear in a human realm too, since Helck seems familiar with it. The group exits the passage and sees the castle. An intelligence operative reveals himself and guides them to a hidden entrance into the castle. The operative opens the gate, and Vermilio reminds them about the rules before they enter. Hira thinks that Kenrose and Dorshi might be pretending to be lazy and planning to jump in at the last moment to win. They see that Kenrose actually wants Helck to win, and Dorshi just wants to leave. But Hira plans to beat Helck by attacking the enemy leader before he can make his move. In a flashback, we saw Vermilio and Azadora talking about the first time he met Helck. It was just after he had finished creating the deep green contract and was visiting the castle. He saw Helck arrive at the castle and make his way in easily, triggering citrus traps that had no effect on him. Azadora ended up getting injured instead. We learned that Azadora trusts Helck because Helck could have killed him if he wanted to. Back in the present, Vermilio still distrusted Helck as they arrived inside the destroyed castle. They spotted the knights in an opening, and Hira told the others to handle the knights while she fought the leader. Before they could stop her, she rushed toward the leader, and the rest followed behind. They fought off the knights, and Hira got close to the leader when suddenly he attacked with incredible speed, slicing off her arm. The others were shocked as she fell to the ground. The knight leader was about to kill Hira when Helck walked in. With the castle crumbling, Hira injured, and Helck facing the fierce knight leader, what happens next? To discover the rest of the exciting story, just leave a comment and ask for more.